Hey, this is Lynn. Today is weigh-in Monday. It is March the 4th, 2024. I just completed 40 weeks on the carnivore diet. And so I'm here to report what's been going on and how my latest weigh-in went. The last several weeks has been bizarre when it comes to weight loss. Like 3 weeks or maybe it was 4 weeks ago now, I was in the 270s. And then last week I weighed in at 259. So I had this crazy weight drop and 6.4 pounds, I think it was that 1 week. And I was going, man, I'm going to have a correction. And then the next week I lost another 2 pounds. And then last week I lost over 5 pounds. I'm like, what? So I've been just baffled by all of this. As you know, if you've been watching my videos, I've been dealing with an embarrassing boil that got really big in the groin area, and I've been concerned about it. I've been having to nurse it like crazy. It is getting better, but I've just kind of been wondering, is all of this going to catch up with me? I have not been able to do as much rebounding because of the deal with this groin boil, because before I was rebounding a lot, and I have been doing some, but I was rebounding a lot and I was doing kind of a marching thing. And this groin is kind of right in this crease, well, close to the crease where it's just easy to aggravate it. So I haven't been walking hardly at all. Haven't been doing my marching on my rebounder. Been doing some bouncing, but I've been pretty sedentary, to be honest, because I have just been really, really nursing this thing. If you're brand new, you don't know me very well, my mast cell activation syndrome went into a massive flare because of an abscess that I got on my chest. And I don't think I've ever shown my scar, but I still have a scar right here. It was a very bad abscess, and it tunneled all the way to my sternum, and I needed 2 courses of antibiotics and wound care every other day, because we had to pack it and let it heal from the sternum to the surface of the skin. Put me into a massive flare. So I have been very, very attentive. This boil became about that big, and it was looking like the abscess. I was monitoring it, never got infected. I was looking for redness and warmth and, any signs of infection. It never did that. So I really was very pleased. I've been using tea tree oil. I used the frankincense and myrrh. I got the activated charcoal drying ointment. It didn't work. I applied it quite a bit. It didn't really work. So I've been more using the tea tree oil, the essential oils and heat and all of that. It is now maybe that big, size of maybe a dime. It is getting better. It's slow. It's just very slow. But anyway, so it has been affecting my life. I watched an interview this morning that Dr. Berry did with Dr. Brownstein, who has written the book about iodine. And I have his book. It is on my list of books to go through and then to review on my channel. But this book was very interesting. Now, I had been adding the Lugol's iodine drops to my water. And then when I ended up with some GI upset several weeks ago and I kind of backed off on things, I stopped the Lugol's. It was really interesting in this video. He talked about how iodine deficiency is associated with development of cysts. Now, he did mention cysts on glands. I'm not sure. And on the kidneys, for men, the prostate, for women, breasts, thyroid. But I don't know if that includes skin. So I'm really curious. It's just interesting that I stopped the Lugol's drops and now I'm dealing with this abscess. I don't know for sure why I'm dealing with it, but I am dealing with it. But in his interview, he talked about the fact that he's dealt with thousands of patients with in prescribing iodine for them. He said he has found that the average person who doesn't have problems like prostate cancer or fibrocystic breast disease or breast cancer or some of these glandular issues, that 25 milligrams of iodine tends to be what they need. For people who have these issues, higher. They even go higher. He mentioned that people with hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism benefit from the iodine. In fact, he said that historically, over hundreds of years ago, large doses of iodine were used to treat Graves' disease, and he treats Graves' disease, which is a severe case of hyperthyroidism. It's an autoimmune disease. And he said that out of all of the patients he's treated for Graves' disease with really high doses of iodine, he's only had to send maybe 2 or 3 for a thyroidectomy. So that's really, really good. So his book is on my list of books to read, but I did order some Ioderol, the iodine supplement. Now, I couldn't find a 25 milligram dose, so I ordered the 12.5 milligram dose just kind of as a trial, and I'm probably going to take 2, and I'm going to see if I notice improvement if I get back on the iodine. I did put some Lugol's drops into my buttered coffee this morning, so I got a little bit today. But, again, for those of you who know me with my mast cell activation syndrome, iodine supplements have been an issue or a concern for me because iodine is high histamine, but our body needs iodine. And so I'm still trying to navigate this whole iodine thing and figure out, is it, what sources of iodine am I going to do well with? My gut will tell me if it's not happy, if with something that I'm consuming. And because I tend to, there's a lot of histamine receptors in the gut, and anything that I consume that's high histamine, there's a potential that my gut is going to tell me it's not going to be happy if it adds, if I add too much histamine. So it is still something I'm dealing with. I have been losing hair, and I don't know if it's because I dropped weight so quickly or if it's because I'm becoming iodine deficient. I have been taking a multivitamin, but he said that 125 or 150 microgram dose, I forget which one it is only the minimum dose needed to prevent goiter. But as Dr. Berry mentioned, every cell, they've taken every cell of the body, and they can say every cell has this sodium iodine channel built into it. So it appears that every cell of our body is equipped to take in iodine and must need iodine. So the minimum requirement set by the RDA is just like so many other things. This is the minimum you need in order to not get sick. It's not the amount you need to optimize your health. So I'm going to try a higher dose. I'm going to try the 25 milligrams, not micrograms, milligrams of iodine, and see if that helps me and if that helps improve my health. I hope it'll help with my sleep. I hope it'll help with my hair, get my hair growing back in. I hope it will not cause a histamine reaction for me. So I will keep you posted on how that's going. But, it's been very interesting with this past month and the weight situation. So I finally got to sleep last night before midnight. And again, I've mentioned my sleep has been all messed up. I've been sleeping a lot. My sleep apnea, I've been over a month without using my CPAP machine. And so far I'm doing good, but I'm staying up too late. And again, it's because my mind is active and I'm doing things that I don't want to stop. So it's really my fault, but I got to sleep before midnight last night, which is really good for me. I'm going to hopefully get to bed a little bit earlier each night. Still working on it. There's some things that I'm really good at being consistent working on. Other things, not so much. The sleep is one of those. But anyways, I'm going to get to my weight results in just a moment. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Wednesday, March the 6th, 4 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be joining Carrie from Homestead How, and we are going to be doing a book review of Dr. Georgia Eads' book, Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind. And this has to do with mental health and diet, including Alzheimer's disease. And we're going to be doing a book review together. And so it's going to be a live stream. It is on my channel. It's also on Carrie's channel. So hit that notification thing on, there, and so that you can join. Love to have you guys join us. I still have, a decent amount of the book to read, maybe another 100 pages to read between now and then. But I'm a slow reader because I absorb things visually, and I like to really make sure I'm absorbing what I'm reading, and I go through and I underline. So I'm going to be busy the next couple of days with finishing this book so that I can contribute well to our book review. I did go yesterday to a memorial service for my sweet neighbor who died of cancer. She lost her battle to cancer, and that's why our book club did not meet yesterday. So we hopefully will be picking it up. Now, I have a cousin who is on her deathbed with cancer. Hit her hard and fast, and she's down in Louisiana. And so I'm going to be alerted as soon as she passes, which could be any day, which is, I don't know for sure, but the news I'm getting is it could be any day. I'm going to try to fly down there for the funeral. Down in the South, they have funerals like so fast. Up here where I went, we like maybe 3 weeks later, we'll have a service. Gives everybody time to come, get the announcement out, and gives everybody a chance if they want to come from out of town to go to the service. But down there, like when my uncle passed away, the service was the next day. I didn't even know about the service until it had already happened. And my other uncle, he passed away, I think it was 2 days later. So I am fully prepared. One of my cousins that's down there is gonna let us know. And I'm hoping to hop on a flight and head down there. My daughter wants to go too. So I don't know when that's going to be. And it's so tragic. It's so sad. And my cousin's 65. And, I'm hearing that she's in a lot of pain. And it sounds like it's time for her to be on comfort care. And I hope that happens quickly, because I hate the fact that people are in pain. And it's kind of it's an emotional burden for me knowing that she's in a ton of pain. Yeah, so I'd sent her Carrie's video with Professor Seafried and Jeff DeProsperous and the different people that he had on that healed their stage 4 cancer. I sent it over so that her son can watch it. But I think her cancer was so aggressive, and it's looks like she's losing her battle. So, anyways, that is sad. But I potentially may be flying down to Louisiana at some point soon, and So I will probably do some lives while I'm down there. And, anyways, let's get on to the results from today. So the correction finally happened. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I was just expecting it. It took longer, and given everything that's been going on, I am not surprised at all. So I weighed in this morning at 260.8. So that's a 1.8 scale weight gain. My fat-free body weight stayed exactly the same. So that means I actually gained 1.8 pounds of actual fat. Sadly, I gained back. I gained back that visceral fat. My screen keeps freezing. I'm gonna start a new video. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully my screen isn't gonna keep freezing. But anyways, so that visceral fat, the one that went down in like 2 weeks when it usually takes 4, it had gone down to 20 last week, and I was in shock. Well, it's back up to 21. So I don't know. This is probably where I should be, given all those crazy drops in weight. I mean, those drops in weight were insane. So I think my body's doing some correction. I don't know if it's like, hold on, you're losing weight too fast. We need to kind of regroup, and, I don't know. I usually kind of try to overanalyze these things. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. It's like, I just think that my body's saying, okay, we need to take it easy with the weight loss. Let you adjust, and I'm assuming I'm going to get right back on track. So I never worry about things that happen, once, and it's not a trend. So it's just so expected. Now I'm like, okay, all right. This is what I've been thinking was going to happen like 2 weeks ago. Okay, so when I look at the details, and again, for those of you who are new, I use this Renfo brand Smart Scale, and it gives me all this information. I'll put a link in my description for the scale if you want to check it out. But I actually lost 0.2 of muscle, and that's unusual for me because usually I'm gaining muscle. And I'm wondering too if I'm under eating. I would not be surprised, because with how sedentary I've been, I'm not up and about cooking and doing the things that I usually do. And very often in that case, I'm not eating. I'm tend to not be too hungry, but also I tend to just grab some like beef sticks and easy things. So my diet hasn't been the greatest. I'm assuming under eating is a problem this past week, which would make sense. I lost 0.2 of muscle. Bone stayed the same. Fluid, so that means fluid must have gone up by 0.2 because I had a net zero of fat-free body weight. So anyways, so down 0.2 of muscle, up 0.2 of fluid. So it is what it is. I'm going to just kind of try to make some improvements here and there, make sure I'm eating enough, eating more. And hopefully I'm going to get right back on track as this boil heals. I'll be able to get back and do more rebounding. I'll be able to get back and do more walking. One thing, I did actually go and get some clothes for this service because I couldn't wear the clothes that I wore for my husband's aunt's service several weeks back because her husband said no black. He didn't want anyone to wear black. She loved doing like afternoon tea and the floral dresses. And so they said, dress like you would be coming to afternoon tea. I don't have anything. So I went out and I bought a dress. I have not worn a dress. Can't even remember the last time I wore a dress. I think I wore a skirt to my friend's daughter's wedding, and this was maybe 8 years ago. And that was an anomaly back then. I actually bought a dress, and then I bought this kind of crocheted white sweater to go over it, kind of like a vest type sweater, because it was cold. And my whole outfit did not come from the plus size section. It came from the regular size section. I liked the dress kind of loose, so I actually got an extra large. I tried on a large and it was a little snug. And so I got an extra large for the dress and an extra large for the sweater, because the sweater was kind of a small fit. And they fit great. So looks like, at least from the waist up, I am no longer in the plus size section. My jeans are still a size 20, but they were a 28 before. I had been like a 28. So my bottom half will get there. Alrighty. So total since the very beginning, March 31st of 23 was my very first weigh-in. And since then, my scale has me down 78.8 pounds. Now last week it was 80, but now it's 78.8. My fat-free body weight, all the good tissue, I've gained 25.2 pounds of good tissue. So that means my fat loss since the beginning is 104 pounds. Absolutely wonderful. Total muscle gain has been 23.8 pounds. I've gained 1.6 pounds of bone. So overall, since the beginning, up only 0.2 pounds of fluid. Happy with that. I cannot complain. And I can't say it was a good week. It was an expected week. And I do expect things to improve as this boil improves and as it becomes easier to get up and do things without aggravating it. I'd still have to be kind of careful. And I am bound and determined to beat this thing and not have to go in and get wound care like I did before. So I will just stay the course and keep going. And hopefully I'll have really good news to report next week. And, if you pray, pray for my cousin. I know she's losing her battle. This is not going to turn around without absolute divine intervention. But I just pray that she can be relieved of her pain and that the whole family, I know that's going to be a grieving process. I have 21 first cousins on that side of the family. We have a very large family on my dad's side. And it's going to take its toll on a lot of people. In fact, she's the person who has been very fastidious over the years of keeping our family genealogy. So I don't know who's going to take over that. But anyways, we went down there for a reunion several years ago, and she absolutely loved my daughter. And my daughter had bought this local jam that's made out of a berry that's local to that area, and it got confiscated at the airport. My cousin heard that happened, and she bought her 2 things of the jam and mailed them to her, because I mean, that's just her. She's very thoughtful like that. So we're gonna miss her, and yeah, it's sad. So I am not going to cheat. I'm not going to be emotional and turn to food. I don't do that anymore. I used to do that, and that used to be my way of coping with things and being emotional. I'm not going to do that. So anyways, keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we have a little bit of a difficult time coming up. So anyways, I hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.